Making sure that you're working at your own pace, nothing is causing pain or discomfort, as in joint pain. Making sure that you've got the usual props, pillow or ball, and then a band or a strap, whichever one it's easier to get. If you're seated, trying to find that nice lifted position at the front that allows a good diaphragmatic breathing, so the abdomen is able to move forward and back, and the diaphragm is able to descend and ascend with the breath. If I'm laying down, just finding a comfortable position for the hips and the legs, allowing the arms to turn, palms facing up and towards the ceiling, the front of the chest to open up, to relax. So noticing, doing the usual scan of the body, noticing the pressure at the back of the body if I'm laying down, noticing the pressure under the hips if I'm seated up. Is it the same? Is it uneven? Do I feel more weight going through the right or going through that left side? Am I slightly leaning? Am I slightly twisted? Is my head centered? Is it slightly off to the side? If I'm seated, is it too far forward? So without changing anything, just noticing where the body is and how it feels. Is there any niggle, any tension anywhere, any discomfort anywhere within the body? As I feel the breath is a little bit more relaxed, the body feels a little bit more settled, then I'm going to start focusing on the head, on the neck. I'm going to start just moving the head gently from side to side, so rotating one way and rotating the other. So same as usual, without forcing, just trying to look over the right shoulder, trying to look over the left, comparing the movement to right and left to side. I can see more when I turn to the right, I can see more when I turn to the left, or I have to work a little bit harder when I turn to the right, or it feels a bit easier when I turn to the left. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to turn to look over the right shoulder, and then keeping the head rotated that way. Think of your left shoulder, so the shoulder you're looking away from. Can you retract the shoulder? Can you push that shoulder back? Can you push it towards the chair behind you, towards the wall behind if you're seated? Can you push it down into the floor if you're lying down? Can you create just a little bit more tension and just a little bit more traction down the side of the neck? It's a little bit more stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to ease the head back to the center, then to look around to the left shoulder, and then holding the head that way, I'm going to retract the right shoulder. So I'm going to draw that shoulder back, see if I can create a nice tension coming around that side of the neck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing your way back. I'm going to try again to the right. This time I'm going to turn to look over the right shoulder and then retracting the left shoulder, so drawing it back, and then I'm going to press it down as well. So I'm going to retract and depress the shoulder. And then holding on to that tension, I'm just going to start tucking the chin in as if I was trying to drop the nose to the shoulder. And then I'm going to lift it again. So I'm going to tuck the chin in as if I was trying to drop the nose to the shoulder, and then lift again. So again, noticing how the stretch changes again. It's a little bit stronger, just making sure that it's not giving pain down the arm or any tingling into the fingers. 3, 2, Last one, I'm going to hold, trying to bring the nose to the shoulder, making sure that the shoulder is not shrugging up. The left shoulder is still drawing back and down at the same time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to ease the shoulder, return the head back to the middle. Giving the shoulders a little bit overroll, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So turning to look over the left shoulder, retracting and depressing the right shoulder. And then tucking the chin in, dropping the nose down to the left shoulder. And then easing back up. 2. And back. 3. 4. And then last one, I'm going to hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relaxing the shoulder, returning the head back to the middle. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Hopefully a little bit more movement into the neck. I'm going to see if I can start getting the upper back and the arms involved too. I'm going to retract the right shoulder, so I'm going to draw the right shoulder back. I'm going to push the right shoulder into the mat, then release, and then pushing the left. Release, pushing the right, release, pushing the left, release, pushing back the right. So see if you can think of just a little back, release, back, release, back, release, back, release. Think of the tension being right behind the shoulder blades. So the muscles right behind the shoulder blades tensing to draw the shoulder back. The front of the chest opening up actively. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I'm going to reverse. I'm going to protract the shoulders. I'm going to pull the shoulder forward or up to the ceiling. If I'm lying down, then I'm going to ease back, push it forward, bring it back, push it forward, bring it back. So these thumbs, if you can imagine like a gentle stretch going towards the back of the shoulder, the front of the chest tensing to pull the one shoulder and then the other. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. There's a little bit more movement through the shoulder girdle. I'm going to start adding the arm now. I'm going to raise the right arm up to the front. I'm going to start opening the right arm out to the side. And then I'm going to pull it across. Then I'm going to open it. And then cross it. Each time, see if I can make the movement just a little bit bigger. But see if you can think of just the arm moving into the shoulder socket, not the all of the body rotating with the arm. So see if I can try and open as much as I can, and then close as much as I can. Open as much as I can, and then close as much as I can. If the arm is too heavy, I can bend it slightly, so I can make it a little bit shorter. If the arm is not too heavy, I'm going to keep it nice and long, nice and straight. 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm going to bring the arm across the front, keep it straight. With the other arm, I'm going to hug it closer to the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the shoulder. I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to raise the arm up, shoulder level, shoulder height. I'm going to open it out to the side and then pull it across the front. Open it out to the side and then pull it across the front. So same as I did on the other arm, I'm trying to create the biggest movement possible, but making sure that the movement is just in the shoulder. So I'm not turning the all of the body, I'm just moving the arm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, I'm going to bring it across, keep the arm straight. I'm going to hook the other arm in and then hug that arm nice and close to the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the arm, relaxing the shoulder. So, little bit more movement into the shoulder joint. I'm going to see if I can start getting the spine, the thoracic spine, a little bit more involved. So if I'm seated, I'm going to cross the arms onto the chest. If I'm laying down, I'm going to reach the arms forward, and then I'm just going to start rotating from side to side. So I'm going to turn the rib cage, turn the shoulders, turn the head, look around one way, come back, turn the rib cage, turn the shoulders, turn the head, look around the other way. And then I'm going to repeat again on the other side. So if I'm seated, see if I can use the fact that there is nothing behind me preventing me from turning further and further around. If I'm laying down, see if I can use that gentle rotation, rolling from one shoulder, coming back and then over to the other side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. I'm going to see if I can go a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to reach the arms forward. I'm going to interlock the last 3 fingers, reach the index and cross the thumbs. So imagine to be pointing a gun. I'm going to lock the elbows straight, and then I'm going to pull to the right. What I want is to keep both arms straight. So watch the right elbow as you're rotating to the right, making sure that it doesn't bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Easing back to the middle, releasing the shoulders, little rest for the arms. I'm going to repeat the same, but come the other way. So I'm going to stretch the arms to the front, interlocking the last 3 fingers, reach the index across the thumbs, locking the elbows in, and then I'm going to rotate to the left. Keep the elbows locked as far around as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back is a little bit more movement through the thoracic spine. I'm going to focus on the lumbar, on the lower back. I'm going to start with a little pelvic tilt. So tilting the pelvis back, if I'm seated, I'm just going to roll back onto my tailbone, as if I was trying to press the lower back onto the back of the chair, and then I'm going to rock forward towards the very tip of the seat bones, bringing myself back into that nice lifted position. Then tilting back, I'm going to let myself around, and then forward and extend. So keeping a little movement going, so see if I can try and encourage the lumbar spine to move. So if you put that little tuck under and that little lift to come back. If I'm lying down, using the mat to guide me, tilting the pelvis back, pressing the lower back gently into the mat, scooping the belly in, creating a little tension through the middle, and then rocking the hips forward back into neutral. So tilting and releasing that tilt. Tilting and releasing that tilt. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, bring the hips back into neutral from a little anterior posterior tilt, forward and back tilt. I'm going to go into a little side to side, into a little hip hitch. So I'm going to tense the right side of the belly, pulling the right hip up towards the ribs, and then come back, and then hitching that left hip. Then come back, right, back, and left. So if I'm lying down, the back of the pelvis stays flat against the floor, but I can feel it moving gently from side to side. There's a little tension into the obliques, into the side of the belly. If I'm seated up, it's exactly the same, but in an upright position. So I'm trying to take the pressure off the right seat bone. So I'm going to try and pull the right seat bone off the chair, then drop it back, pull that left seat bone off the chair, and then drop it back. So again, feeling the tension into the side of the belly, trying to create that little hitch, the little lift. Using the arm as a little help if I feel that I don't get much response, I can't feel it very well, so I'm just going to use the arms to help me guide myself into the movement. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hips, adjusting the back, just a little bit more movement down into the lumbar as well. I'm going to drop down into the legs, and what I want is to warm up into the hip joint first. So I'm going to start off with circles. So grabbing hold of the band, if you want to use the band, I can use my hands. If the leg is quite responsive, I might not use anything, I might just circle the leg. So whichever way works best. If I'm laying down, I have to lift the foot off the ground, so I might need to use the band to help me keep the leg up, as it's a big lump, it's quite heavy. Then I'm going to try and see if I can circle the leg around. It doesn't have to be a circle. What I'm trying to is to move the leg into the hip socket in as many directions as possible. So what I want is to try and free the hip joint, noticing any restriction, any direction where I feel the leg doesn't really want to go there, or it feels really tight when I try to go in that direction. I'm just going to try and see if I can relax that tension a little bit, so creating a smooth movement around. So if I'm laying down, saying I can take advantage of the fact that as I'm not seated on the hips, I've got a little bit more space I can play with, so my circle can be a little bit bigger if the hip allows me to do so. 3, 2, and then I'm going to reverse the circle. I'm going to go the other way with a little rest if I need to rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then releasing the leg. Relaxing the hip, I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So if I'm using the band, I'm going to put the band behind the leg, using the hands if you rather use the hands, and then I'm going to try the same. I'm going to try and encourage as much movement into the hip, into that leg as possible. So noticing any difference in the movement, I might find that maybe this side feels smoother or this side seems to be clicking. And I try and play with my circle and control that clicking, maybe get rid of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circle, going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing down, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. So it's a little bit more movement into the hip joint. I'm going to try and see if I can take advantage of that. I'm going to focus just on a lateral movement, just on a out and in. So I'm going to focus on one leg. It doesn't matter which one, we're going to be doing both. And then focusing on that leg, I'm going to start going into a little knee drop. So I'm going to open the right leg as much as I can. Making sure that if I'm lying down, my hips and my bum is staying on the floor. And then I'm going to bring the leg back in. See if I can pull it in slightly, squeezing the knees together. And then I'm going to open it out again.
Same as usual. As I'm getting the movement going, I might find that the leg again doesn't respond very well. So I'm just going to use the arm to help me to push it out to the side. And then I might need a little help to bring it back in. A little bit across to see if I can squeeze the knees together. And then I'm going to open out again. So this time I'm just focusing on that little left and right movement into the hip. Does it feel smooth? Does it feel easy? Is it getting better as I focus a little bit more on it? 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to repeat the same with the left side, with the other side. So I'm going to open the knee out as much as I can. And then close it back. I'm going to pull it across, squeezing the knees together. And then I'm going to open out again. 2. And then squeeze it back in again. 3. 4. 5, 6, 7. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 8. 9. 1. 10. And releasing back again, releasing the hip, but releasing the leg. It's a little bit more control, it's a little bit more movement in and out. What I want is the movement to go up and down. To encourage the hip flexors to switch on first, I'm going to use the pillow or the ball. So I'm going to place the pillow on top of one leg. It doesn't matter which one, again, we're going to be doing both. If I'm seated, you don't really need the pillow. I mean, you can use the hand as the leg is quite close. But if I'm lying down, because the leg tends to be further, to put my hand on the thigh, it might strain the shoulder and the neck a little. So I'm better off using the ball or the pillow to give me a little bit of a longer reach. So I'm going to push down with the hand, push down into the ball. And then what I'm trying to do is trying to lift the right foot off the ground. So the arm is pushing down on the leg, and the leg is trying to lift up against that pressure. So if I'm seated or if I'm lying down, the foot might not even lift off the ground. It doesn't matter. But see if you can be aware of that little bite, the little tension right at the front of the hip, the deep into the hip joint, the hip flexors that is trying to connect to create that flexion, to create that lift. So I'm going to push down with the hand and then try to pull up with the leg. Then relax, and then I'm going to pull again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, I'm going to hold the pressure. So pushing down with that hand, trying to lift that leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to try the same thing on the other side. So using the ball or the pillow, if I feel more comfortable, just putting that hand directly onto that leg, I'm going to push down with that hand and then try to lift that leg off the floor at the same time. 1, then relax, and then again. 2, so see if I can feel that bite deep into the hip and also into that left side of the belly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. I'm going to put pressure, hold that pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the leg, releasing the hip. I can feel a little bit more connection to the front of the hip. and the front of the belly. This time I'm going to try and see if I can lift. So same as before, if I know that, again, the leg feels a bit temperamental today, so I can't control it very well, then I might want to use the band behind that leg to offer a little support. So I can use the arm as well as trying to work through the hip into the leg. If I don't need that support, I'm just going to keep working on the leg on its own. Then taking a deep breath in as I breathe out, this time I'm going to try and lift the foot off the ground. So there is nothing pushing against it to prevent me, so the movement should be feeling easier. So I might be able to lift it off the ground. I might struggle to lift it off the ground, but I'm still going to try and focus on that tension into the front of the hip and into the front side of the belly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So again, if I need the band, I'm going to pop the band around the back of that leg, so that I've got a little support coming from the arms too. And then exactly the same as on the other side. I'm going to get the foot to lift off the ground. So feeling the front of the hip tensing and then relaxing. Tensing and relaxing. Lifting and lowering. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. So it's a little bit more connection at the front of the hip. I want the same, but I want it at the back of the hip into the back of the bum. So I'm going to focus on the single leg again. And then this time reversing the effort. Instead of trying to pull the leg up, I'm going to try and push the leg down. So I'm going to push the right foot hard into the floor, and then I'm going to relax. I'm going to push it hard into the floor and relax. If you're seated, you can lean forward and push into that leg, then come back. Lean forward and push into the leg. If I'm laying down, I'm just trying to push through the right side and relax. Push through the right side and relax. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then last one, I want you to hold that pressure. So I'm going to push down into the leg as hard as I can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Relaxing the leg, releasing the hip. I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So pushing down through the other foot and relax. Pushing down and relax. So finding the connection to the back of the leg, to the back of the bum on that left side. Same as before, if I'm seated, leaning forward, if that helps you to find that tension, find the connection there. 4. Vai, firma tu. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one, I'm going to press down, hold that pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. Hopefully a little bit more connection into the back of the legs, the back of the hips too. I'm going to try and see if I can start adding some load now. So keeping the knees bent. If I'm seated, I'm going to lean forward and then pushing down onto both legs to see if I can get the hips to become lighter on the chair. See if I can try and lift them slightly off the chair. And then I'm going to sit back. So I'm going to ease my way forward, trying to sit off, and then I'm going to sit back on the chair. If I'm laying down, I'm going to start driving into bridge. So pushing down into the soles of the feet, I'm going to squeeze my way up into the lift, and then I'm going to drop the hips back down. So it's trying to encourage the hip extension. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, I'm going to hold the pressure, squeeze the hips off the chest. If you can hover, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it back. Giving the legs a little shake. If you're laying down, maybe having the knees to the chest, stretching the lower back, the back of the hips, the back of the bum. If I'm seated up, I can work in reverse. Grazie. Thank you. Pulling the leg gently towards you until you can feel a little stretch from one side to the other. 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing through the hips and releasing through the legs. And then I'm going to move back onto the shoulders and the back. I'm going to start with a little lateral movement. So I'm going to scoop the right arm around the side. I'm going to bring it up and towards the ceiling, as if I was trying to bring the arm towards the side of the head, towards the side of the ear. And then I'm just going to ease the arm back down. And with the other side, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to bring the arm around the side towards the other side of the head, and then coming back. If the shoulder is restricted, so if I feel that it's actually quite painful for my shoulder to get into that position, then I'm just going to try and see if I can do the same, but allowing the arm to come forward slightly. So I'm going to swing it right slightly to the front more. So trying to find a good movement to the right, a good movement to the left. And then once you feel that the shoulder is moving a little bit better, it feels a bit easier, Then I'm going to start adding a little flexion. So I'm going to follow the arm. I'm going to flex it to one side, coming back to the center, and then I'm going to follow the arm and then flexing the other way, and then coming back. So keeping it going from side to side. Think of a nice long stretch coming down the side of the rib cage, under the shoulder, down the side of the waist. If you're laying down, same as usual, you might want to support the head with the other arm. So I'm going to move to the side without loading the neck, just carrying the head with me as I go from one to the other side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back to the middle. Adjusting the position of the shoulders, adjusting the position of the back, and then focusing on the hips again. I'm going to extend the left leg along the floor if I'm lying down. Curling the right leg into the chest with the left hand. I'm going to hook around the right leg, right knee, right thigh, wherever it's easier. And then taking a deep breath in, as I breathe out, I'm going to start pulling the leg across to the front and then going for a little rotation, for a little twist to the side. Then I'm going to ease my way back to the center, and then I'm going to pull it across again. If I'm sitting up, if I can, I'm going to cross the right leg over the left. And then with the left arm, I'm just going to pull the leg across a little bit more. If I can lift the leg over, I'm going to reach across with the left arm, and then I'm going to pull both legs to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the legs. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So if I'm laying down, I'm going to extend the right leg away, bend the left knee, reaching across with the right hand, and then gently pulling the leg across, rotating gently to the side, release, and then I'm going to pull across again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the hips and the legs back to the middle. I'm going to shuffle the feet nice and close together, and then reaching with the hands on the inside of the legs. This time I'm going to push the knees out as far as I can, holding the stretch. If I'm laying down, I can just use the weight of the leg to drop onto the floor. I can use the hands on the inside of the leg to encourage a little bit more stretch if I can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Bring the legs back to the middle, giving the legs a little walk, a little shake. When you're ready, rolling over onto your side, and in your own time, pushing yourself up into sitting. Finding your comfortable seated position, leaning on the wall, on the sofa behind you, if you need to, using the arms to give a little support at the back if you feel that you need that support. So finding the seat, going to see if I can try and seat myself nice and tall over the seat, but I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to start lifting and wide. So I'm going to try and raise it through the chest, lift up as high as I can, dropping the shoulders back and down. I'm going to lengthen through the neck, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then I'm going to release and come forward, tucking the chin down to the chest, rounding the shoulders, rounding the upper back, rounding the lower back. We're going as far down as I feel comfortable, as I feel in control, and then up in reverse. So I'm curling all the way back, opening up, lifting through the chest. Again, shoulders back. Let's see if I can lengthen a little bit more, lifting through the chin, looking up, looking back, and then release and coming forward. Chin drops to the chest, the shoulders hunch forward, rounding and rolling forward, rolling down. Last time, I'm curling all the way back up, extending through, looking forward, looking up, looking behind. And releasing, coming back. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow, give yourself a clap for that. Any question or anything as usual, please say. Remember, you need